What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm gonna show you how I draw gesture. So guys, but first of all we have to focus on some things first, and it is like a critical thing while approaching drawing any human figure. And the first one is analyzing and observing. You should take your time to analyze and observe the pose you are trying to draw. First thing, what I'm going to analyze or what I'm going to observe, it is perspective and long lines. And what I mean by that is actually the line of action. I'm trying to visualize the shapes of the lines and curves that I'm going to use. I'm trying to make the shape as flowy as possible. And the perspective is most of the time in my head I'm visualizing or constructing the torso, like the rib cage and the pelvis, just to show the perspective of them. And these things will help me on the long run. And when I'm saying only curves, just for the sake of making it kinda flowy. If I'm using too many straight lines, it tends to make the pose kinda stiff. Alright guys, this is like the first thing I do. Now, I'm talking in general, the flow. That's what I'm trying to keep. Also, I'm trying sometimes to exaggerate. This is how I do it to show the flow. I'm using long curves, long lines, just to show how dynamic the pose is. Alright guys, and the second thing is the tilt. And when I'm talking about the tilt, I'm talking about the head, the shoulders, and also the hips. How they are tilted. As you see here, this is kinda a dynamic pose. This is a great pose because we're looking now, the direction of the tilt of the shoulder is the opposite of the hips. Alright guys, and the third thing I'm trying to take care of is the stretch. And what I mean by that, the stretch and pinch, I'm talking about the areas that has some stretch curves and the other areas that has pinched areas, which is and most of the time the torso. There is like a stretching side and also a pinched side, and that is actually the result of having those lines, the shoulder line and the pelvis line, the opposite to each other. This is the result of it. The result is a stretching side and a pinched side. Alright guys, so what again, here also I'm talking about the perspective. And again guys, in this, I don't know how to say it, but my style of drawing, my approach of drawing is trying to combine lots of things with each other, like some gesture, also some construction and so on, so I can reach to the end result faster. Alright guys, here I'm trying to show you the perspective of the torso. When I'm constructing it, the ribcage is a box and the pelvis is a box. It really helps me a lot to show like the direction of it, the perspective of it. The other important part is the wrapping lines. You're gonna use that like a lot when you draw cylinders. And when we talk about cylinders, I'm talking about the arms and also the legs. Sometimes we use it also for the torso. And how is that? I'm showing you here. If I'm going to draw a rib cage as a box, the curve is going to follow the same 2-point perspective. This box is in 2-point perspective, so if I'm going to consider it as an egg shape, this curve will follow the same lines as you see here. Alright guys, since the rib cage is kinda tilted to the back, so the curve is going to follow. It shows the perspective. It is the same as you doing lines. The same goes for the curves. Alright, I'm showing you here if the leg is going towards us, the right leg is actually going towards us. If I'm going to draw it as a cylinder, we're gonna see the lower plane of it. That means it will be wrapping this way, the same as the lower plane we are actually seeing. And for the other things, as you see in here, I'm drawing a curve on the pelvis and a curve on the rib cage. And again, I'm thinking that the arm is heading towards us from the shoulder to the elbow. I'm thinking again about the left leg that is going away from us. When it's going away from us, that means I'm going to see the upper plane. So the curve is going to follow. Alright? That's how we construct, or that's how I construct. Alright guys? And I guess this is like the last thing to do while drawing a gesture. I'm just showing you here from a profile side the shape of the right leg, just for you to understand that I'm showing that the thigh is heading towards us, towards the viewer. Alright? As I'm showing you everything here now, I'm going to draw some gestures, but I just wanted to show you how I do it. So if you did not see any of the previous videos, you just now know how I'm going to draw it. Alright guys, so enjoy and also try to practice more. I guess this is like, maybe for me, this is the easier approach to the final product. Alright, so guys, enjoy.